Everyone knows that divorce is a hard subject, but I want to know, is it just the act of having a divorce or something else that affects kids so dramatically?
You know, it really depends, though, I think, on the family background and whether or not parents are open to having their children receive support. They may be totally caught up in the pain of what they're experiencing as they end a marriage, and sometimes children get lost in the shuffle. And so oftentimes what I end up seeing when students come in as young adults are really hurt people,
Yeah.
that are struggling with, major, feelings, conflicted feelings, feeling unworthy, self-esteem issues. A lot of it may be due to just those early messages. I'm not enough. I'm unlovable. I was to blame for my parents breaking up. Often they sometimes get caught in the middle when they're children. They don't understand what's happening, that it isn't their fault, and they take on this blame that just kind of carry with them. Absolutely. So I think the parents really it's really key for the parents to be getting support when they're going through this split, so that the children don't get lost in the shuffle or feel blamed in some way that for the family disintegrating.
Right.
And sometimes the children become ping pong balls, or they become ammunition,
Right.
that the parents use to get to hurt the other one because they're hurting.
Yeah.
And that's very unfortunate when that happens. So that can happen, and then it can be really empowering at college age when you're a little distance from the family to be able to look back and begin to heal and begin to process, well, what was it that happened, and how was I affected, and is it within my power to become the person I want to be. And that can be really a wonderful experience as a counselor, to see young people just kind of taking charge of their life when earlier they didn't have charge of whether their parents divorced or not.
Right.
It's possible, and it can happen that way.
Okay.
It also can be similar to facing an addiction, a parent with an addiction. Will the children become addicted? Not necessarily. They may decide, boy, I'm not going to live my life that way.
Right.
I'm
So
going to be very, careful, and I'm not going to have trouble with any substances because I see the damage that can be done.
Right.
And they learn from that experience and their observations. So the same can happen in terms of divorce.
Right.
I think modeling is very important.
Right.
So the more that parents can model responsibility for their actions and take that responsibility, whether or not divorce happens or not. Some people they don't do well together. It's not a good match.
Right.
And so, and if there are children involved, it can be to the children's benefit that parents separate.
Yeah.
And they can still love both parents, and if the father and mother, or both parents respect each other and support the relationship that the child has with both parents, that can be a very positive experience.
Okay.
Children are vulnerable, and when things are out of their control and out of their ability to influence, it can be a very difficult time.
Right.
And counseling support can be very, very helpful, or the support of friends or other families. Intact families can be very important at that time. They may have parents that are very dysfunctional and not adult and how they handle a divorce. But if they have grandparents or neighbors or, from an intact family where they can see how good relationships, good communication happens within relationships, then that can make all the difference.